eminent scientist, selfless educationist, and Vice Chancellor of Tezpur University, Professor V.K. Jain, Professor E.S. Sohan, distinguished heads of academics and administrative departments of the university, esteemed faculty members, my dear scholars, students, ladies and gentlemen present. Thank you very much for inviting me to your 26th Foundation Day ceremony and end of Silver Jubilee celebrations, which was going on for last 1 year. Special thanks to Professor Jain for writing such a beautiful invitation letter. Your letter is a proof that you must be a gifted teacher. My association with this university dates back to almost 20 years. I came here in 1998 for a specific purpose. Many things in your life you try to do but does not materialize. It also did not. Then I came after 10 years in 2008 to deliver a lecture on the kind invitation of the business department. After another 10 years, I am here today. And seeing the changes from 1998 to 2018-19, I am truly impressed. You have made a wonderful journey. It's mind-boggling. 99th position, the Times Higher Education Asia University ranking in 2018. 146th position in QS BRICS University ranking in 2019. Visitors Best University Award. Visitors Awards in Best Research category 2017-18. These are not mean achievements. Kudos to the students and faculty who has earned FRCS, Gaiety Awards, Rajabhasha Shield, Fulbright Fellowship, JSPS, Humboldt Commonwealth Fellowship, INSA Teachers Awards, Tata Innovations Fellowships Award, which was mentioned by Honorable Vice Chancellor. There are many more. I cannot mention all of them. You have become the pride of Assam and the Northeast, and also of the whole country, as my previous speaker, Professor V.S. Sohan, had mentioned. Tezpur University, Indian Institute of Technology, Guwahati, Numaligarh Refinery, Kalakshetra, the Bogeyville Bridge. These are outcome of sacrifice of thousands and millions of people in this region. We were struggling for identity. The generation of people during early 80s were suffocated by lack of opportunities for them. There was a 6-year-old agitation. And this university is one of the outcomes of those agitation and sacrifice of many, many lives in this part of the country. So we have a lot more expectations from you. In addition to what you have achieved during last 25 years. Your achievement is commendable. Coming together is a challenge. Staying together is another bigger challenge. And achieving something by accomplishing these two are much more bigger challenge. Kudos to all of you. Heartiest congratulations and compliments to all of you on behalf of the people of Assam. And as a keen observer of this university, you have achieved all these three. You have achieved all these three. But there is a but. After finishing my studies, I came back to this region. I had many more opportunities too in other part of the countries, abroad, This part of the country was passing through social unrest. People were deserting this place. Still, we wanted to come back. I am one of those. I think that I should be there where I am most needed. So I came. As my introducer had told you that we have 5 hospitals. After having 2 hospitals at the end of 25 years, which was doing well, we paused for a while. We reflected, introspects what is happening. We had treated 5 million people. We saved many more lives. But how is the impact in the society for whom we are working? Before starting the hospital, I personally contacted 4,000 people to understand what their need is. After running this hospital for 25 years, I again went back to the community and interacted this time with 100,000 people to see the impact of last 25 years of my activities. Yes, patients we have treated, life we have saved, paper we have published, but how it is impacting the community. When we came here, in terms of Human Development Index, the position of the Assam was amongst the bottom 10 states after 25 years. In addition to us, there were many more, including government working for it. We are still in that bottom 10 states in terms of Human Development Index. That means in terms of healthcare, in terms of education, in terms of income generation, we have not been able to pull out of the states from that bottom 10. Not only that, not only that, whatever private hospital has come in this part of the country, 85% of the people cannot go there just because of cost. As a result, 85% of the people go to the public hospital, overcrowded, and there is always a pressure on quality. And government do not have that many resources. We have many more problems. When going to the community, we also realized that after 25 years, 50% of the diseases that affects our people can be prevented. It's more important to keep the community healthy and disease-free rather than treating them when they are sick. We do not have healthcare services. We have sick care services. Nobody has time to keep the people healthy and disease-free. And when we have a system of analyzing each and every death in GNRC hospital across all, we all doctors sit together and try to understand what was the problem, how he came, what we did, how he died. Could we have done something more than what we have done? Did we do things appropriately? Was it done on time? And when we analyze all the deaths of last 25 years, we found out that the most common cause in the hospital was because the patient did not come to the hospital on time. By the time they came, the time for treatment was almost out. But the reason why? One, financials. The cost of healthcare is ever rising. It's beyond the reach of most of the people in our society. So they try to avoid coming to the hospital unless there is a life and death situation. Second, lack of awareness. They cannot connect what can lead to what. I may have headache today. I cannot connect that it could be maybe the cause of a tumor. I may have a reeling sensation in the head. I'm not able to make out. Most of the people in the community, that it could be the precursor of a stroke. So lack of awareness. Then we thought that at the end of 25 years, we need to do certain things. Treating when a person is sick is okay, fine, but we must also equally work for preventing disease and keeping the community healthy. Number one. Number two, We must create awareness and educate people at a community level so that they become aware of what can lead to what. Because if they can get treated at the beginning of their illness, pain and suffering is less, outcome is better, cost of treatment also becomes less. In addition to that, the cost of healthcare must come down. There has been hardly any innovation in healthcare to bring down cost. So we must work for disruptive innovations in order to bring down cost. For example, I'll tell you one thing. In 1987, when we purchased the first CT scan machine, when I got trained as a neurologist in All India Institute of Medical Science, there was only one CT scan machine for 120 crores people in this country. And we could do 8 CT scan tests in a day for all this. And in 1987, when we purchased the first CT scan machine in Guwahati, whole of India had 20 CT scan machine, and the cost of that machine was 65 lakhs. 65 lakhs. And the salary of the radiologist was 2,000 rupees. He was very happy. In government, his salary was 500. When he got 2,000 rupees in GNRC, he was extremely happy. And we did CT scan test for a patient at 2,000 rupees. All over India, it was 3,000 to 4,000 rupees. Today, after introduction of these disruptive innovations, and at this today's market price, CT scan cost us 2 crores from 65 lakhs. The same radiologists are still with GNRC. Their salary has gone up to 500,000 every month from 2,000 rupees. They are not responsible. I cannot help it. It is market who decides how much we should pay to which person. But today we do CT scan at 900 rupees. 1987, when the cost of the machine was 65 lakhs, when the salary of the radiologist was 2,000, we were doing CT scan at 2,000 rupees. And today, the cost of the machine has gone up to 2 crores. Salary of the radiologist has increased up to 500,000. But to the people, we are doing CT scan at 900 rupees. In common terms, we call it profit. I personally say it is surplus. Each one of us should have surplus at the end of the day. If I do a job for 100,000 rupees in a month, I must be able to save at least 20,000 out of it. That is my profit or surplus. In an enterprise also, you need some surplus at the end of the day. This is what you spend for your growth, development, renewal, and replacement of the old technology. Otherwise, an organization cannot survive because you don't get any grants or contribution or any sanction from anybody. So, a surplus is a must for any private enterprise. And our surpluses remain same. Neither it has increased nor it has decreased. But the cost of the service to the people have come down. So, these are the things that one is preventive and promotive health. Who will do it? We need a workforce. We are planning to train 20,000 people in Assam. We have already trained 2,500. I'll be happy if Tezpur University can collaborate with us in imparting those courses. We can work together and make a sense for this part of the country. This can be replicable everywhere. 2/3 of the world needs it. For preventive and promotive health, and they get job next day. They get job next day. It is assured. 2,500 people we have trained. After 2 days, they are into the job. There is no unemployment amongst them. No unemployment amongst them. Now, with these few things, I'd also like to say a few things, which is rather personal, but with a definite purpose. What is that? I was born here in this district on 15th of August, on the evening of 15th of August 1950, when this part of the country had the biggest earthquake of the century at 8.6 Richter scale. I was born on that day. I come from a very humble family. My parents did not know how to read and write. They were marginal farmers. I used to plow land with my father. I used to herd cows and buffaloes. I used to carry vegetables on my back and sell them in the weekly market at a distance of 10 kilometers. There was no science teacher in my school where I studied. Even there was no desks or benches for the student and a chair for a teacher. So he used to share my jute set, which I used to carry to the school to sit. My teacher was, I never forget the task of a teacher who was sitting with me in the same jute set. Since I liked science, I wanted to study science. There was no science teachers in the school. I'm just trying to give you the difference. What is happening after 50 years? So I had to come to another place, 40 kilometer away, where I lived in a driver's barrack. Every night, the drunken bowls, fighting, violence. And when they will go to sleep, when they become tired, then I will light my kerosene lamp and start studying. Till I was able to manage a private tuition to earn 15 rupees a month when I came to a boarding house where I cooked my own food and did my studies. My mother was sick. My family did not have money to treat her. Then I thought, why not I become a doctor just to treat her? At least I'll be able to cure my mother. That's my story. I started GNRC with 5,000 rupees, which I saved out of my residency program in All India Institute of Medical Science. In All India Institute. Now we have 4,000 people working in GNRC. 4,000 people working in GNRC. Looking at the university, while coming to your campus today, my children were asking me, Papa, are you going with some slides? I said, no, I'm not making any slides. Then my wife, who is a teacher, she asked me, what are you going to talk there? I said, I'm going in the morning, I'll get 3 hours time in the journey, I'll organize myself. I reached there at 8 o'clock, so I got some time. I jotted down my points in a piece of paper. Sorry, I did not come to you with any slides. And at the same time, when I was browsing through the internet, I was very much impressed that you have a clear vision where you want to go and where you want to reach and when, how you want to reach. I found out that in your vision and mission statement, you want to be in that exclusive club of top 50 universities, one amongst the top 50 universities in the world by 2025. By 2025, your mission is to be in the club of top 50 universities in the world. Actually, I'm proud of your vision and mission. But then also I try to, okay, does this university has all the prerequisites to become one of those top 50? Your academic excellence, your achievement together is excellent, no opinion. But those who reached into that club, they are very, very innovative. They are very, very innovative. Professor Sohan is here. I sometimes feel that I think that many of the plights of healthcare in this country is because of Medical Council of India. Today, we need 26 lakhs doctors in this country. Healthcare means one human being taking care of another human being. We have only 6 lakhs doctors in this country. You are short of 20 lakhs doctors. Can you provide healthcare? In Assam, as of today, we need 84,000 doctors. We have only 10,000 doctors. We are short of 74,000 doctors. We have 6 medical colleges. We produce 750. Even if another 6 come up in next 10 years, we'll be producing 1,500 doctors in a year. And every year, 1% of the doctor will become disabled because of old age or death or disability. And we'll need another 138 years' time to produce the required number of doctors only in order to take care of the health of the people. Who is responsible for this? Who is responsible for this? They will tell you why you cannot do it. They will never tell you how you can do it. There is hardly any innovation in their approach. You are also bound by that. My concern is that you will have to do many more things outside the university if you want to reach to that top 50 level club. You cannot confine your activities to the within the 4 bounded walls of this university. You will have to go out. Collaborate. Join others. There are many more infrastructure outside the universities which you can use as your research hub, innovation hub. There are many more resources, both human as well as infrastructure, that can be utilized. You cannot do everything within the university campus. There are limitations. There are limitations. You'll have to find out ways how to overcome the barrier that is created by our different organizations at the top. We must find out ways to do it. Not an easy task. Second, this university should be student-centric. If you become good one day, it is because of your students and faculty. If you do not become good another day, it is because of your students and faculty. You should be student-centric. How? Keep your finger on the pulse of the job market. It's very important. That's where I beg to differ with Professor Chauhan. I have a different view. We should not run any course, produce any students who cannot earn. There is no job opportunities. We have done enough. We have done enough. We must change. Because Human Development Index, the fundamental needs of our people are education, healthcare, and income. Unless he get a job, where is the income? Why he should invest his time and resources in getting a degree? I was browsing through the internet to see the response of the students about this university. From there I got that 60 to 70% of the students get placed not. But my expectation as a keen observer and well-wisher of the university that let us have those courses which can create job. Course cannot be for course sake. Education cannot be for education's sake. It must have a purpose. It must have a purpose. And course also has got very, for example, I as a student, my father gave me 600 rupees when I told him that, Papa, Devta, I want to become a doctor. He was poor, he did not have money. He managed 600 rupees and gave me and told me that this is first and this is last, Papa. I have no more money. You don't ask me how I have got this 600 rupees for you. So I completed my course with 600 rupees as the capital. In between, I had compelling situation that I have to give a break to my course and do something, earn some money and come back again to it. But my system do not allow me to do that. How many students? There are many more talented students who could become better doctor, but they cannot do it because their family cannot support him financially. We select students based on two things to become a doctor. Based on the knowledge of science, based on the ability, financial ability of the parent to support the child. We never look at his attitude. Medicine is a service. Those who do not enjoy helping others, serving others, cannot be good doctors. We are totally ignoring it. Our present education system is indifferent to this. As a result, we are already shortage of doctors. The 30% of the doctors which we produce, they should not have become doctors. That's why the doctor-patient conflict has come. Their expectation and aspirations from the society for becoming a doctor is totally different. It creates a lot of tension and stress. So, yeah, my son wants to go for a course. But he says that, Papa, I cannot spend 3 years for a course. I have to do many more things back in Assam. But at the end of it, he wants to get a degree. Why 3 years? Why 2 years? Can he come for 4 weeks or 6 weeks or 2 weeks? Then something can be done at home and again come back. Instead of 1 year, he may take 3 years, doesn't matter. But his job will not stop. So, the courses should be designed and developed according to the need of the student and his time. Time is changing very fast. Time is changing very fast. We design a course today that cannot be appropriate for another 10 days. It's changing. It must be according to the time and the need and psychology of the students. That's very, very important. And getting a job is another important thing. They must get a job. We know that education becomes meaningless. Education becomes meaningless. And the number, last but not the least, that I would like to say, technology is important. Each and every one of us must be able to embrace technology. And we must be able to adopt and absorb and make a part of our life what is best available anywhere else in the world. That is also important. The kind of things you do, the students, scholars, and the faculty, and the leaders of the university, especially the vice chancellors. I was meeting Professor Kishore Mohan Pathak quite often as the founder vice chancellor of this. He was working in close collaboration with Professor Jamini Mohan Chaudhary. I used to meet them quite often, who was the former vice chancellor of Guwahati University, who is no more. Even after that, you had very good leaders as the vice chancellor of the university. That's why it has become so proactive for you to reach to this level. I'm sure with the help, cooperation, and the teamwork amongst the vice chancellors, the faculty, the students, the scholars, there is no limit where you can reach. Sky is the limit. Getting into the club of top 50 universities in the world in the next 7 and 8 years should not be a problem. I'm waiting for that day when we can say that, like Himadas, the whole country is proud of her. Like Mary Kom, this Tezpur University also will bring pride to us. Thank you so much.